there, and MegaMogwai here, and I got yet another Legends of Runeterra for you guys today. We're gonna play your girl SERAPHINE in a deck that I think may be one of the most fun decks I've ever played in Legends of Runeterra, and I'm happy that I left her for later because, like I said in my other videos, I wanted to take some time building around SERAPHINE. And here's what we got. We got SERAPHINE Aphelios. I was inspired by somebody who I queued into, not the ladder, but in the early access event, right? Someone who was combining these two champions, and the synergy is very obvious if you think about it. SERAPHINE here requires you to play a new spell, not 2-cost spell, but you play new spells 6 times, and then she levels up. So you need to play 6 different spells, essentially, and that will allow you to level up SERAPHINE, which is essentially kind of like a 2-mana karma, right? She's limited to cheap spells. And the beautiful thing about this design that I really like is that it only copies the spell of a new spell. So if you can duplicate Pale Cascade back to back, which not only does it affect your gameplay, but it also affects your deck building a lot. And I think that the proper way to build the SERAPHINE list is with a bunch of one-off good value spells. And what we're doing here is we're playing some spells that do very similar shit, but they're different spells, and that way we can get to our level up as fast as possible. As you guys can see, we have Deathray MK1, which can create the MK2 and the MK3, which are all new spells that allow us to progress the level up, while also giving us a little bit more of a control tool to cycle through, as we have several cards that can cycle in draws, and being able to find pings and being able to deal damage while only running one Mystic Shot is, in a way, like mitigated because of this death rate right here. Like, I really laughed at this at first because I know that I ran into somebody who was playing it in the early access, but actually it makes a lot of sense. Like, I like it as a one-off here, but I'm not gonna explain, I'm not gonna expect the entire, I'm not gonna spend English the entire deck tech talking about Deathray MK1. There's other cards in the deck that we gotta discuss here, and there's quite a few. So we got High Note as a one-off, we have Mystic Shot as a one-off, we have Pale Cascade, we have Sunblessed Vigor, we have Super Cool Star Chart, Time Trick, Trail of Evidence, which can be potentially 2 spells for 2 mana. If we pick up a spell, sometimes we pick up a unit, right? It doesn't help out in that sense, but still pretty damn good. We got a couple of copies of Hush. This is one of the few spells that we're running more than 1 copy of. Once we go above 2 mana, we don't really care about running only 1 copy of it because we are focusing on the 2 mana spells that we want to be duplicating with SERAPHINE. So we want to enhance the amount of spells that we have, and we want them to be unique. But from this point onwards, we have stuff like Hush, and we have other spells that we are running as a 3 of, and I'm going to explain them shortly. But first, Gotcha is not really in the mix because Gotcha is technically a 2-cost spell, and with leveled up SERAPHINE, Gotcha can be 6 damage for 2 mana, which is the tits, right? But Hush is really important for us to be able to just deny a big Overwhelm unit or big Elusive unit or a back row engine that's going to obliterate us in a specific turn. We need to have that disruption, and I really, really like it as a 2 of here. It can save us from a lot of very, rough scenarios, and it's very reliable to have. As then we have a full set of Drum Solo, a full set of Sunburst. This is the kind of deck that I was talking about, in which Sunburst is the shit. It's essentially 5 mana vengeance the majority of the time, even though it's slow speed, right? But you're paying it for 1 mana less, and you're able to answer pretty much anything under the sun. It was funny in my head. Sputtering Songspinner, though, is the most key card, and I think an absolute staple for SERAPHINE decks, because for 7 mana you're able to create 3 2-cost spells. They cost 0, and those spells you get to duplicate every time you play, so you can generate some amazing tempo plays with a 7 burst speed spell once you have leveled up SERAPHINE. It's just very, very nice. I think the card was designed for her in mind, and it really does make sense because, man, it just feels like a big power play, more so than ever, really. Like, I've tried this card in the past with Victor, and it's actually pretty decent with Victor. Maybe SERAPHINE Victor is something that you can explore in the future as well. But man, with SERAPHINE just being able to get that, it's essentially you're playing 7 mana, you're getting 6 mana worth of spells, but because you're duplicating them, it's as if you're getting 5 free mana of things to do, and you're able to choose from several options. Sometimes you're gonna get screwed, like there is variance in the mix, but because you get to choose between 2, 3 times, it also you know, it's a good card to measure skill in a player, like knowing exactly what kind of spell they need. Sometimes it's not a spell that they need to go for immediately, but having it in the back is important. And overall, I just really like the fact that this card can be really strong, even though I had a bit of a, you know, a bit of a rant against RNG when SERAPHINE was revealed, and a lot of you may think, well, you're being a hypocrite now because you're all over this shit, right? But it's really fun to play, and it doesn't feel as polarizing as I was fearing it would be. I mean, it's been a small sample size, but it hasn't felt like Nora, right? Even though Sputtering Songspinner is very RNG heavy, it's really one of the few cards in the deck that is. Everything else is pretty much, I mean, we do have Pharaoh's Financer, but, you know, Invoke doesn't really count because it's a case of, like, good RNG implemented. And then, you know, we have the Fan Club President with Manifest. And Fan Club President can get you some crazy stuff. Very hard to play around this girl. I love playing this card. I know it must feel absolutely obnoxious to face her, but I really like the card, and she's put in the work for me as well. We got a one-off of Zaun English, and a one-off of the Veil Temple. I like both as a one-off. I don't want to go too heavy on the. They kind of like serve this the same role, but the problem with Zaun Bouncer. I have a hard time saying that fast. Is that if you have more than one on the board, it kind of gets redundant, right? Like one is enough. And you don't really want to be drawing too many copies of it, since our deck is mostly aiming towards chaining our moon weapons and the likes, right? So I felt like as a one-off, it can put in the work in certain scenarios. And the same can be said for Veil Temple, but they don't override my hand with bad draws. Drum Solo, speaking of draws, this card is absolutely phenomenal, man. It is just as good as most of us thought it was going to be. It essentially, as long as you meet the flow, you get to, it's like a 5-mana progress day in a way, you know, like, because you're drawing one card less, but you're reducing the cost by 2. Like, it's really crazy. Like, this card is potentially the best card draw in the game right now, even better than Nagaporo's. Like, yeah, we don't get that body blocking, but we are able to mitigate for the big weakness that draw spells tend to represent, which is, you know, doing nothing that very turn just to draw more cards. But now we actually get to play them. If they're 2 mana, which most of our cards are, they get to be 0 cost, and we just get to get insane value out of it. So with this deck, we really run out of gas. We got a Phelios as a massive engine, and we have Sputtering Songspinner that tends to get us really good value, and Drum Solo, which cycles through our deck and draws us 2 cards. So we have draws for days, and the idea is we're overwhelming our opponent. We're drowning them in value. We are a control deck. We're trying to control the board, level up SERAPHINE, get the most value out of our 2-mana spells as we chain them. But sequencing is extremely important, especially with the moon weapons early on, because you do want to copy stuff like Crescendum. When you have leveled up SERAPHINE, getting 2 copies of, like, playing Crescendum and having duplicated is really nice. It allows you to refill the board very quickly, which is why you want to prioritize stuff like Gravitum and maybe even other stuff like the buffs or Calibrum before, you know, going for Crescendum, because you want to preserve Crescendum for when SERAPHINE allows you to just double it. So you also got to keep in mind which moon weapons to go for. It's not just what's happening on the board, but what's going to happen in the game later down the line when you manage to level up SERAPHINE. So that affects your sequencing too, which is why I really like this deck. It's very difficult to play perfectly. Like, it's a very complicated deck that leads to pretty long games. You know, target style, and pretty long deck text that you guys can see here. But there's just a lot to talk about with this list, and you know, I just want to make sure that I explained everything that went through my mind when optimizing it, and yeah, I honestly, like, I was away yesterday, so I don't know if there's been many people building SERAPHINE decks. I don't know what the most common SERAPHINE deck is as of now, but this is what I've been playing, and what I've been having a lot of success with. So. And more importantly than anything, like, what I have a tremendous amount of fun with, because this is one of the most. I love slow games, man. What can I say? I'm a bit of a degenerate, I guess. I really like games in which I have a lot of decisions, and this is my jam. So hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I did, and I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. We got the new expansion rolling, so we got a lot of stuff to try out, and it's only the beginning. Love ya. Enjoy the games. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, here we go. Fiora-Bane with Freljord, so an all-in Fiora degeneracy. All right. I see a B. We're gonna go ahead and look away everything except for the Lunari Dustbringer, because we want to find Aphelios to curve into. Gotta be wary of Fiora. We got a gotcha here. We can just discard it.
Night flowers upon my blade.
We got a Zon Bouncer, which could be pretty good here as well.
No more hiding.
More hiding. We're gonna smack him. Beat him down before things get ugly.
Lunari, rise.
Straight.
Their scent travels on the night air.
As darkness falls, the moon rises.
I'm gonna get Calibrum because I already have a good target with the Steadfast Elkin.
Always 2 steps ahead.
But if we see Fiora, we are going to do this. They could have a single combat. Yeah. It is what it be. We get rid of her.
No more hiding.
I'm gonna swing again. Alright, we get an Elixir of Power out of them.
We will be free.
And now we kill the Oak.
A good fight's the spice of life. Garlic works in a pinch.
I'm gonna play a Zom Bouncer. We're not gonna trigger the flow this time, but from this point onwards, we can start generating some extra spell mana. Okay, so a Scout. Not really worth going for Sunburst on this, I think. Maybe I'm just gonna have to use this. What is our better option here? I think Gotcha is just too expensive, so we're just gonna lead off with this. Like that.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
I like that, Equinox. Get rid of those 2 keywords, make you a little bit easier to deal with.
Pots for boiling.
Hold still.
Could take a little bit more damage here. It's fine. They could have another single combat, so I can't play Seraphine without some protection first.
Not even I know what I'm cooking up.
So we've only played Calibrum here.
I hear you, Zon. Now you're about to hear me.
I want to enable this high note to be able to knock out these 2. But first I want to play Aphelios.
The brighter my light, the stronger your shadow.
Because now this forces them to do something with the Seraphine. So I'm trying to bait something out of them. And now we go double Severum. That's energy! Look at that. Now we got chump blockers for days. We get that spell mana back.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
Cool story, girl. Honestly, I could just lead off with you. Like, you're the biggest threat. Fuck. House Laurent! Fuck it. Now I have a lot of mana, so I don't think I need the sound balancer anymore. I'd rather use the stat line here. That's fine. We want to get all that stuff out of him. We don't want to be playing any spells until we play this Calibrum, though. So we can generate that extra moon weapon, but now we Calibrum you. And then I guess Severum works. No, but we're going to be getting that now. So Gravitum.
If you can only feel one thing, Fel, let it be my light.
Because now we can Gravitum this unit. And now we get Infernum, because it'll duplicate. That every moon weapon that we've used once will not be able to be duplicated again. So we do want to prioritize weapons that we haven't played yet. Oh, that's a draw. But let's go with this first. Double Infernum, and Calibrum's pretty good. The second option doesn't matter because you've already picked, in case you're wondering. Yeah, that's a big boy of Felios. They're down to 3 cards. I think you're a bigger problem, actually. So let's clear you. Let's get Gravitum. We gotta keep in mind that they could have freezes. 3 Sisters is very likely, so we don't want to attack blindly with the Felios unless we can have a backup to protect them.
An auspicious season. Blessed by snow and stars.
That's preemptive though, but they wanna get the value out of this Starless here, which is why we were doing good at targeting it first. They're down to 1 card. Feathers! Let's go with this. Oh ho 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 ho! Ooh! Ooh, I know, but syncopation actually happens twice, but I can just Trokips. And get all the benefits. Alright. Let's draw 2, why not? What are we discarding? Let's discard you at this point.
Get your dancing shoes.
So I can go with this, +2/+2, and then you, yeah.
Sing it with me now.
Get all this damage on him. Regeneration, and then +2/+2. We grant. Look at that thick Seraphine. And we just keep coming. We got the fan club president.
Every shadow.
No! The game's not over! Oh well. What would it take him there? Cosmic Binding, maybe. It's 4 damage, right?
Through unwavering faith, the moon is
Okay. Alright. Leona-Yasuo. Well, we got the champions. I think we can mulligan away these 2, though. Just keep 1 copy of each. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so no Solari Soldier is already very good news.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
I like Crescent Strike. It's pretty good against a daybreak strategy because they have to develop a lot of times their units first before attacking. Okay, they got the Hook Master, which means stuff like Momentous Choice is enabled. We got rid of one drum solo because we already have a lot of potential value in this hand. And I was hoping to find the Moonlight, I think it's called, the 0-mana spell that can function as a way to help us play Aphelios on 3 with the Nightfall trigger. The counter.
Here, fishy, fishy.
This could allow us to draw through our deck, but we have a lot of draw, man.
Hold still.
I'm gonna use Pill Cascade to try to trade these two. And also enable Aphelios to go down. There it is.
Embrace the night, Aphelios.
I'm gonna go Calibrum. You have to think even more with Aphelios when combining him with Seraphine, because I want to hold on to Crescendum. Ooh! Gotcha! Well, let's go with this first. Let's set up the Gravitum. Let's reveal the one they expect first with the Calibrum, and then let's send it to jail. As we try to keep the value engine rolling. We want to use Aphelios to level up Seraphine, but we also want to use Seraphine to go turbo with Aphelios. So now we know we've played, out of the moon weapons, we played Calibrum, right? Gravitum is not that one that we really care. Okay. They don't have Ravenous Flock.
Guess I'm the thing.
Guess you were. But they may equip that with that, but now we're gonna do this. Gravitum, like I said, we don't care about duplicating Gravitum because we just stun an enemy, right? It doesn't really have any other payoff, so it's another good moon weapon to go before the Seraphine level up. We got Reggie. Alright.
The dawn has arrived.
And with it, oppression.
Drama! That could make for a show. We get in Daybreak, Nightfall, Arcane here. Let's get... Okay, so now that we're... I need to see... Okay, so we go to 4. We got a 4. Yeah. The next... Yeah, the next moon weapon that we play, we want to... Okay, that works.
I hear you, Zon. Now you're about to hear me.
I probably should have applied the buff to Aphelios anyways, but I want to divert my threats.
Together, brother.
We will make death holy. We've already selected. We're gonna get the Severum here. And because we haven't applied Severum, we take Severum because we haven't duplicated it either. Ooh, that's pretty good. Good. They have 9 mana. But now we can go Severum, trigger it twice. And now because of the buff, we get the stun on Seraphine, which is completely fine. We go with you here. And we go Infernum as well. And we're applying Infernum onto the pickpocket. Oh, that is a yeah, that is a rush Cook as a palm. because this is what I really want to connect now. I think Crescendum is more guaranteed value. Let's go double Infernum. That's a thick thief. Yeah, tell me about it. Let's see if we can take away a fast speed stun from them. That would really help us out. But we do got that Crescent Strike that we picked up earlier. That's gonna come in clutch here. Unless they open attack, which is less likely. Like you wanna trigger Daybreak for Leona. You wanna, you know, have a bit of a more threatening attack here. Hilarious. Ooh, that's I mean, that's not awful. That's great though for protection.
Maybe I do have a future.
Okay, well, Yasuo needs to die.
Sleep is for the guilty.
I guess not effective immediately, but he does need to die soon. There's a challenger here. I mean, I don't know if I need to Crescent Strike here, to be honest. Defector! I'm gonna take the Calibrum because I want to clear off this Tail of the Dragon. It could be balanced later down the line with something like a Homecoming, which would give them Concussive Palm again, and that's very dangerous with the Yasuo. This could come into very clutch. Like, it could be just a bit of a worse Bastion for us, but can't be good enough. I'm not afraid of the Challenger because right now they don't really have good targets, and anything that they do try to hit, you can just potentially heal. But now, you know, now they're bringing in the Fiora-Bane. So I may be compelled to go for the gem here.
Unwavering strength.
I could lose Seraphine
They will know.
if it means I can get rid of Yasuo. Yasuo is extremely threatening here.
Sorry, Papa.
Yeah. That it is. Give It All can be easily countered by this. Celestial Trifecta seems to be like the better option.
Awesome day for progress.
It's a very progressive play.
With the Knight's Embrace.
I will protect you.
Alright, they have to do something to stop this lethal. I didn't go for the drum solo because I need the 4 mana in case I go for the protection here.
Try to leave a dent.
Okay. I'm gonna use Severum to heal. And then, what am I gonna do then? I'm gonna keep the Gravitum. And now that they're tapped out, we're gonna MK2. Get rid of Leona. and get MK3. Beautiful. With Gravitum, we can enable a Crescendum.
Purpose, a new home.
A quiet spirit.
Let's get the value. Okay.
Stand with me.
Come on!
Don't have to be sharp to make a point.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Let's knock that out.
I'm with you. Sing it with me now.
Booyah! There we go. Bit of a grind,
Keep faith.
but a fun one.
Heroes.
Ooh, okay. Hecarim-Gwen. How can I make a Hecarim deck with these names? Actually, it's been a while. I always end up going to Grand Plaza though. We got the Mountain Goat, which we can try to strike with and go into Aphelios. I like Seraphine. We don't need Drum Solo so early on. I like that better.
Please, make yourself right at home.
I'm actually going to take the hit.
Allow me.
Because I want to do this at the beginning of my turn to enable the Nightfall for Aphelios. There's a few things this can go wrong, like they could have a Glynis Beyond. I'm not sure if they're main decking that. There's a lot of, you know, ifs. When you summon an ephemeral ally, grant it +1. Nightfall, summon a sapling. Pretty cool unit. Worth getting rid of.
Embrace the night, Aphelios. I am with you.
It's a 2/3. In a 2/3, I can have a very nice attack into. Ooh, good. We don't want to go for Crescendum anyways, for what I said earlier. We want to have Crescendum for Seraphine. So we're going to prioritize Calibrum here. Drawing into MK2. I have a lot of really neat options for units. I'm gonna go MK2, just because it's easier for us to kill. And if they now develop another one of those, our Aphelios goes down. I could have just hit this. Probably should have, honestly. I mean, I do... I have another Aphelios, which is why I went a little bit more... But I don't know if that was correct.
What a strange, wonderful world. Some thinks I'm all sparkle, huh? Well, maybe. rises.
The good thing is we can halt the Hecarim with Gravitum.
First time, madam? I suppose it's rather novel.
I should never tire of something so grand.
Okay, we gotta get to that level up soon. I want to hold on to. We already have the Crescendum, so we don't need to play optimally for Aphelios. We need to essentially make it out of this round. I could have gone for a gem, actually, so I can trade into that.
Very good.
Okay, good. All right, here we go.
I hear you, Zon. Now you're about to hear me.
Now we go double Crescendum. We get that Calibrum and we start picking things off.
You can only feel one thing, Phil.
Let it be my light. Let's go. Yeah, this is such a rewarding deck to play. It's you have to be very mindful of, like, obviously staying alive, but setting up the Seraphine level up is, it's not easy, man. But when you get there, it's just, it's like 2 mana karma, but it doesn't just automatically win you the game by any means, because you can only duplicate every spell once. I just really like her design. I was worried about the RNG aspect of it, but I definitely overestimated it, even though I feel like I don't know if people are optimizing the lists, but in my opinion, like, if you're playing Seraphine, you definitely want to be playing a full set of the Sputtering Songspinner here. Let's go Calibrum. I think Severum is a good option. Severum does open Gravitum, exactly. We wanna always be able to answer the Hecarim. I am worried about stuff like Harrowing, right? I may just be a Seraphine main. I never thought I would say those words, but I think I'm a Seraphine main. Like, I just love this champion. Oh man, they're really thinking here. Maybe they're crying uncle. We're one away. If we play Pale Cascade, we get to draw 2 cards. It's definitely the line of play. Like, we go Pale Cascade, we heal up our Seraphine. Cycle through our deck. We get the High Note, which is outstanding. We get the Gravitum, because we're going to need it for Hecarim, even though we do have Sunburst. Ooh, I see how it is.
Believe, Aphelios.
Refreshment.
Okay, so Never-Gonna Collector is a problem. And because of the recent buff, we actually don't kill it with a high note, but we do kill Gwen. Okay, now we don't. Now we still do with this, but you know. Gotta keep in mind that we only duplicate 1. Whoa. Okay, so no Hecarim threat. But we got plays 4 days. We go Gravitum. And then we can go double high note. We have the MK3 as well. I think maybe I'm gonna go with the MK3. I want to wait for them to attack, because they can still have another ephemeral generator in hand, right? So I can deal with the Shark Chariot once it comes down, because the high note is an excellent counter to that. They just go with the attack though. So that means that we're gonna do the following.
Do you see?
Do you see?
Ashes and stardust.
Find peace in the quiet, Phil. It's just us.
Let's go with this.
Nailed that one.
Twice. Use these to chump. Alright. Could knock her out, but I don't really have
It's an awesome day for progress.
I think True Shot Barrage could be pretty decent, since it can allow me to take down multiple units at once, which can stop an ephemeral attack. I could have taken Severum just to have an easy play to start off with here, because I'm going to miss out on the Moon Weapon otherwise, and I could have healed my Seraphine. But for now, we can just draw like this.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
Sure, we miss out on this, but we wasn't going to get Gravitum anyways. I'm worried about, like, again, the harrowing, right? That's the scary.
I am with you. Amps live, let's go. Cut to the chase. This is a chance for me to leave my mark.
I got moon weapons for days. Gotta make sure we flood so that if they do lead off with the harrowing, we can take them on. You know, games take a bit of a while with this sort of deck, but as you guys can see, we're stabilizing. There you are. Well, I mean, that's like the easiest Gravitum of my life. Easiest Gravitum of my life.
What a joy!
Watch your toes.
You cannot hold us down.
No Gwen level up yet. Stunned for next round. I mean, we do want to try to finish this. 4-3-9. Gonna do that. Still use our last mana to get a unit here. This should give us an extra attacker in conjunction with the True Shot Barrage.
With a knight's embrace.
Sing it with me now.
Hey, nice! Double Porobot for the win!